Hey guys, Bump here, bringing you this plus 22 Throne of Tides Unholy commentary. I just wanted to make a video out of this dungeon because I end up at 360k overall, which I think is a pretty good number for an Unholy DK. There's obviously a couple of factors here that go into why I managed to do that much damage. For instance, we have PI and augmentation just buffing me the entire dungeon. Also, the rogue I'm playing mid isn't doing that much damage, which means that I can kind of deal most of the damage and do lots of it. But anyway, I felt like, you know, why not make a video of it, do some commentary. This won't be much of a guide per se, more about, you know, following along, talking about how I kind of approach the packs, that kind of thing, how I plan ahead, and so on. You can see my gear is up here. You can also see you have my stats there already. I'm running the I'm running double passives here. I unfortunately haven't been able to loot the trinket for Throne of Tides yet, but if I did, I would definitely run that. But I'm doing the two passes, the Butcher's Block and the Nightmare Eggshell. There's lots of different good trinkets that just give passive stats, which you can use for. Anyway, let's talk about our ability use and so on. So that first pull, I used everything. We had Bloodlust running, pulled the entire corridor. You start with army. It doesn't do, like, it does like 500-600k single target. But now with the tear set, it obviously spawns a Magus. So you want to get that out to get some value from that. And then it's just a normal kind of rotation popping or cooldowns. Moving to this triple pack. This is in a situation where you just simply won't be doing that much damage. I'm still sitting at like 160k, which is fine, but yeah. I know after this pack, we are going to go and take the elevator, so there's going to be some downtime. But even then, I'm not too sure actually. So the mob is at 30%. I think I'm holding my cooldowns here. It's not worthwhile to pop them because, yeah, I'm probably going to waste most of them anyway. There is, you know, not much you can do with this mob really. If you're really quick on your fingers, if he aims towards you and does the frontal, you can aim miss it. But other than that, you know, it's kind of loose. Killing it slowly. Next corridor is more fun though. There's more things we can do. There's lots of casters we can interrupt with Blinding Sleet and Mind Freeze. Importantly though, there's two mobs. We'll have a look at what they are called exactly, but they cast a... what's the name of the cast? There's a very dangerous single target cast which you can pre-AMS and completely immune, which is a very good thing to do. It's the ones there at the end of the corridor. We'll see when we get there. You can see I have most of my cooldowns ready. So I'm just going to pop everything that I have available to me. Get that Apocalypse out early. Here we go. It's these... and the quality's not good enough. I can't see what they're called. The Sentinels, right? So the Shell Breakers on the tank don't need to deal with that. But soon, Crushing Depths. That's a cast. You can see I have on my interface, I can see what they're targeting. So I will try and see if they target me. And if they do, I'm going to pop my MS. I did use my MS a bit earlier there, just to make sure I don't randomly die from like a cast or something on the start of the pool. But I'm definitely going to keep track here. If they target me, either use a defensive or use AMS. I can't remember if they actually did target me. There we go. Crossing Depth. Spamming my AMS. No. Oh yeah, that was the guy behind me. Never mind. These guys are dead. I now have my army back up. So I'm just going to commit that on the next pack. As a general rule, when I play Myth Plus, I can just send army all the time. Get some good value from it. Even though this is just a, you know, pack of 3. Getting the armor value is really good. Tank's going to pull this in soon, I think. Yeah, it's hanging, waiting a little bit. Oh yeah, it's going to do double pack, right? This is excellent opportunity to do army. Get some good Magus value. So pop that, Defile, Skirt Strike, and then all our cooldowns. Festering wants to get our Apocalypse out. Here's some Epidemics, and then Skirt Strike, and then Epidemics again. I like to do that. Like, you go in, Defile, Skirt Strike, put up your dots, use all your CDs, and then you hit like two Epidemics-ish before you hit Skirt Strike right at the end of that initial Defile. Really got opportunity, because then you refresh your Playbringer, get a couple of GCDs when you're waiting for the file buff to nearly finish, as in waiting for the point where you pop around the file, and in that region you can use spam epidemic, because you don't really want to use Scourge Strike there, because it doesn't clean, right? Much better to use Scourge Strike in the file, then epidemic, and then refresh the file. Alright, so gonna pull the next pack here, pack of 3. Not the ideal scenario for us, but I'm still just gonna send everything I have. We luckily get a these guys getting pulled into it. I'm just gonna apply my dots. This guy is body pulled by me, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna make sure my pets attack that guy. So I have this pet attack macro. Well, I think I just pulled it from the spell journal actually. It's a good idea whenever you have a priority target, just make sure your pets are actually attacking that. Obviously the pets cleave quite a lot, but alright, hit a couple of death strike there. We had 9 stacks, so it took quite a lot of damage. But Unholy DK, pretty chill, because you can just kind of hit death strike and you heal it up immediately. I showed you the talents earlier, but I'm just going to talk about them a little bit. It's just a very standard disease build we're running here. I am running the defensive version, which sacrifices a point of Unholy Bond, which is like a 2-3% DPS downgrade-ish. But God, you get so tanky. If you die Myth Plus with this tanky build, you have to seriously mess up. Because like anything that usually might one-shot you, it just doesn't. You get effectively, I think it's 16% extra health. And I'm already at like 900k. So, you know, it's like I have like 1.1 million, 1.2 million effective HP. It's pretty insane. There we go. I got 950k. And then you add 16% to that. 1.1 million. It's really juicy. Alright, we're just sending our cooldowns on cooldown. That's going to be the theme here. I think I'm going to try and time my army for when we use Bloodlust on the second boss. But it's going to end up being quite neat for me because I have army back up now. So I'm going to use that on the next pack for sure. And then we're going to have army for the first boss somewhere in the middle. And then the first boss is going to take like 3 minutes. So we then have it back up for the second boss with Bloodlust. So I can just safely use it on cooldown and get it back up. My CDs are like, you know, coming back up here. But I'm just going to go into that pack and then use them when they're actually available. There we go. Get send my power room weapon as well. I just try and use that whenever I can actually get some good value from it with other cooldowns. You can see that I did the double epidemic into Scourge Strike just before the first defile runs out. I think that's a good play. And you know, I'm doing like 800k on this pack. It's quite funny, like we've cleared 60% of trash and I'm sitting at 470k overall. You know, can't complain about that really. This boss is actually pretty good for Unholy, because the intermission phases, which ends up at 70 and 30%, they spawn lots of ads, and there's loads of movement going on because you need to dodge the geezers, right? We could just dot everything up and then run around and press epidemic and have a good time, essentially. All right, just popping on my cooldowns here. Focus tempers can be dangerous. It's a good opportunity to use AMS here. We're very unlikely to die from it, given how tank we are. But still, you know, you can pop AMS and just for safety's sake. There's not really any other opportunity to use AMS unless you're targeted by the shock blast. So up to you really. It's a good idea to use your defensive though, so you don't end up just holding them forever. Alright, boss is taken down. She's gonna walk into the middle soon. Maybe it's 60% actually. She seems to not do that 70. Yeah, it's probably 60. My bad. Alright. There we go. High tide. We're gonna try and dot everything up. Standing close to this guard is a bad idea because he is aggressive, but I'm gonna make sure everything dotted up. This is the beauty of Unholy DK, right? I can just, if I have my dots running, I can just run away, spam epidemic, and I'm like dealing top damage by far. No problem at all. Just try and flurry. It's not that dangerous. These mobs don't scale with Tyrannical, by the way, so they kind of chill. It's not that dangerous of a phase. Anyway, that's over. We can now just send our cooldowns again. Just making sure we get some good value. We got our little Magus dudes out. And the boss is just ticking down. So I now have army back in 40 seconds. I'm not going to commit that. Maybe I should have saved army actually, so I had it for boss. It's not a dangerous boss though, so it's not like I do that much less DPS by not having army. So you know, I think it's fine that I just sent it. Another thing here, right? Very important. Your pet gets stuck on the boss, even in intermission. Like it doesn't swap targets. So do leverage your pet stack macro here to make sure it actually moves off the boss. There we go. I can see it now. So it stands there hitting the boss. Like he's getting no value at all. So use pet attack, which I think I will do soon, and make sure it actually moves to the these new guys. All right, we're just going to finish those off, and then move back to the boss. At this stage, I will save army 100%. As I said, I know we're lost in the second boss. This dies in like 30 seconds maybe. So there's absolutely no reason for me to waste an army cost on it. However, I could have safely actually saved army previously, used it on the boss, and then had it back for the next boss as well. Would have probably been the better play. But it's fine. As I said, it's not a difficult boss. It's not like we need to really focus seeing a target on it. That's fine. Alright, that said, going to move on to the next one. I have all my cooldowns ready, which is great, because I'm going to get good synergy with my Bloodlust. I have my potion ready, going to use that as well. And on the second boss, there's loads of good stuff we can do to leverage our kit. First of all, the knockback it does leaves a nasty dot. That is something we can AMS. Great defensive kind of value. It also does knockback, so Death's Advance just blocks that, no problem. Furthermore, the ads they spawn, we can knock them back using Epidemic. So Epidemic counts like a direct spell. So what you do to deal with those ads is to just dot them all up and then use Epidemic, and that's going to push them back. Very easy and useful to deal with. It has the added benefit of just padding your damage a loads, but you know, we don't care about that, do we? Here we got Shockwave, AMS. We don't get the debuff. Easy peasy. Awaken Ooze. We're now going to dot those up. There we go. And then once you hit Epidemic, they got knocked back. So really helpful for the party that you can deal with those, so they don't have to put in any effort, energy to do that. At the end of this encounter, we'll end up at like 8 million damage dealt to them, because as you can see, my dot keeps hitting them, even when they're kind of in their, puddle phase. So yeah, I don't know why that does that, but it ends up being a ton of dot damage just from that. You can see again, he's going to use Awaken Ooze. I'm going to dot up both of those packs and hit Epidemic to push them back. All right, Awaken. Turn around. We're going to dot those up, dot the other ones up. Yep, and then we hit Epidemic and they get pushed back. Easy peasy. Cool. That knockback. Oh yeah, I used AMS. Like using AMS for that is so much value because the dot, it really hurts. So you both immune, kind of initial. Does it do initial damage? I don't know. The amount of damage you end up immuning is just insane. So got some Bubbling Fissure again. Gonna stack this up, move away. He's gonna awaken him soon, so we're gonna do the same thing. Dot everything up. He's gonna use Shockwave, so just Death's Advance that one. No problem there. Alright, Awaken Ooze. We dot up the different groups. You can see that when I miss one guy, immediately it starts getting a bit tricky. it ends up like, if it's not completely stacked up, which is difficult to do, you won't get, you know, full. Yeah, it's difficult to use one outbreak, so you have to do a couple, right? But I think it's still really good value because as a single player, you can kind of deal with that mechanic, and everyone else can just focus on hitting the boss. You can see that it was like 8 million damage, I think, which is pretty good. All right, boss dead. We're now gonna move into the this big corridor here. Oh yeah, these are just the electric dudes. Just take a chill here. I stand back, wait for him to cast, move to the next one. There's no need to kind of stress about this, right? We are slow class. There's no way we're gonna make two of them at the same time, so. Alright. Get a portal, and we're gonna go down and clear the last cast the last bit. The pack here to the left is not, we can't do that much with it. Oh. Right, I think my stream was asking why the rogue wasn't doing too much damage. I wasn't sure either. I'm sure if you're watching, I'm sorry if you're watching this, Patbo, you know, I'm sure you did your best. I think we're going to start by going, we're going to left. Pick up our face at Watcher. Not that much we can do, like with our toolkit here. We're just going to slam and kill everything as much as possible. Desert Rand's obviously good to run out of the AoE there. Yeah, this is just like sending cooldowns. Leveraging our interrupts like Blinding Sleet to interrupt the Mind Flays. That kind of thing. I'm gonna pop AMS here as well. AMS is so good value when you have bursting, right? Because it just immunes it. Everyone else sitting there at like, you know, multiple stacks, like 10 stacks, and you're like vibing at 0. Taking literally no damage at all. Pretty nice. Let's see, I have Abomination Limb ready. I'm going to use that as soon as we actually make it into the next pack, and then pop all my other cooldowns. I'm prepping up some wounds in this guy so I can use my Apocalypse early. Alright, so we have Abomination Limb. I'm sure I will send that. Oh, I think that's a mistake for me. I should definitely use Abomination Limb here. It's good value. Hitting it on lots of targets. It deals quite a lot of damage, right? Really. So no reason why you wouldn't want to use it. Alright. I was paying attention there to that trinket I was getting. Now it comes. That's far too late. I could have definitely used that better. Something to think about for next dungeon. That's dead. You see this, right? Kill a pack. Takes like 40 seconds. Go into the next one. Just pop all your cooldowns again. This is the good thing about like Unholy. When you're starting to do a bit higher keys, you end up having your cooldowns for like every single pack. If you're doing lower keys with like a good group, stuff dies too quickly for Unholy. Like you're not able to ramp properly. But in this, at this level, when also you're like the main damage dealer, as in this scenario, you just do much more damage than Rogue. Unholy just does much better. So if you're not having luck with playing Unholy, not doing that much damage, it might be that your keys are not high enough, so you need to push a bit higher to get there. Alright, Sending Epidemic. Now it's just 2 targets. I'm going to move over to Death Call. This is going to die relatively slowly. But yeah, that's fine. We're then going to kill the little pack for the boss. Really good value of Blinding Sleep in that one. Because they cast these... what are they called? They do a cast which you can't interrupt, but you can kind of stop with a something like Blinding Sleep. Alright, popping all our cooldowns. And then we're going to spam Epidemic and Scourge Strike, as we always do. This is a pretty nice pack. Like, they're very stacked up. Quite a lot of targets, so I'll do quite a lot of damage as Unholy there. Next boss. Right, a couple of things we can do in this one. He does this lava thing. You could pre-AMS that one, but it's completely random and instant, so can't really react to it. However, if you do get it, good idea to AMS because it deals a ton of ticking damage. I'm just going to send all my cooldowns to Paul here. Importantly, he spawns these little totems. I'm gonna want to swap to those. When I have them up, like he deals a ton of damage to the tank. So make sure you leverage your pet attack macro here to make sure all your pets move over to the totem. Allows you to focus that down really quickly. And in general, whenever there's a totem, I'm going to try and leverage Death and Decay, or Defile here, to do some cleave damage, just get some value. You can see there, I have the Lava Shock, and it just did like more than 50% of my HP immediately. Right, move my pets over, pop down Defile, make sure you dot it up, and that's dead. Great, that's kind of it. Fury, that's simply mechanic, just kind of move away. You can do like a bit of a U shape if there's a lot of space, so you move away a bit and then come back in to not lose much uptime, but that's kind of it. Here I'm just waiting. As soon as it spawns, pop down Defile, dot it up, move my pets over and kill it. And that allows us to deal that mechanic easily. This is kind of phase 1. Phase 2, there's some more shenanigans we can do, which is quite nice. It does this fear cast, which will do like large amount of magic damage and fear you unless you LOS it. So you will see my teammates here leveraging the pillars around the room to make sure the cast is not hitting them at all. However, as a DK, we have 2 tools we can use to completely ignore that mechanic. AMS will prevent the fear and also make you survive the cast. So on a 22, it's fine to do. You still take like, maybe 200k damage. Might not be feasible to do like in 25, so I'll have to see when I get there. However, Lichborn just completely immunes it. Really quite nice. I think what happens is that it's a dot that counts as a fear, and since Lichborn makes you immune to fears, you be immune to dot as well. Another fun thing I did here, so you can still see that I swapped that to the main boss and Death Cold. That was to maintain my Death Rod stacked, right? As you're hitting the totem, they might actually drop, so you need to be careful about that. So swapping it back, maintaining those stacks is a good idea to keep up your DPS. Right, we got the vision. Right, you can see I soaked it up. That did like 300k damage to me. So might not be feasible on a higher key. However, I actually, I think on this key I didn't try it because I didn't know if Lichborn would actually work. So I'm just going to AOS this one. But you can use Lichborn. And I did that on another key I did. And it was completely fine. Just immune to damage completely. Anyway, boss is dropping. He's going to die before his next cast. And then we're going to move on to the corridor to the final boss, where we can get some nice value from AMS. So in the corridor, we have these little mobs that when they die, apply a stacking shadow damage increase taken. Ooh, there we go. Dead. All right. I had AMS up, so I knew I could just go for it. Anyway, if you AMS, as they die, you won't get... Jesus. Excuse me. As you AMS, as they die in your AMS, you don't get the debuff. And importantly, there are big ads that pulls shadow damage, which, can definitely kill you. So you'll see me using AMS to ignore that debuff and then not be in danger of dying from the big guys. We have army ready. We're just going to send that. Like, it's going to take me more than 3 minutes to get to the final boss there, so no problem at all just using that. Alright, and then we just blast in this pack. We can definitely grip those back. I should probably do that a bit better. But the pack kind of moves towards them and they come back in, so no real problem there. This is like a really big target count area. Throne of Tides is generally a good dungeon for big pulls. There's like big corridors where you can grab everything together. The stuff isn't that dangerous, so. Anyway, here you can see an example where we pull a couple of goblins, and then we have this guy joining the party, the sentry, right? And he does the swell cast. That's what deals shadow damage. You can see here I got 5 stacks from the little guy, so you take quite a lot of increased shadow damage, and that can be really dangerous if you end up, you complete extending your stacks, that kind of thing. That's why you pull this area in a very specific way. So you want to pull the sentries with few of the little guys, then do a big pull with little guys, get a 20-30 stack of the dot of the debuff, drop it, and then move on to the next section. So you'll see us doing it here. We're gonna pull loads of these unstable corruptions. We're gonna kill those quickly, and then we're gonna move to the next area. These continuously spawn in this area, so you can't just sit in the same spot. You need to kill them and then quickly move ahead, so you don't end up having more of them spawn. Right, got the sentry. Gonna go in, pop our cooldowns here. And then we are probably going to pop AMS here as well. There we go. So that's AMS. As these guys die, you can see I'm not getting any stacks at all. However, my teammates do gain stacks. Another tactic is you just do pure single target on the sentry, but that's not really feasible here. So we're going to survive it anyway, so I'm just sending all my CDs. Ideally, you kill it within, so it only does one swell. You see it does one more here with 9 stacks, but, no problem at all, really. All right, gonna kill this off and then move on to the next goblin pool. As I said, you want to move forward so the when the little, what are they called exactly? Hang on. Unstable corruption, when they spawn behind you, they don't pull you, they don't aggro. So. Right, going to this pack, I had all my 45 seconds ready, so I'm just gonna send those and then deal big cleave damage. And then we actually at 100% here. So I think we could have skipped these, but we didn't do that. So we're just going to kill them. I just have Abomination Limb ready here, but I'm just going to send that and try and leverage some defile. And then I have my armor coming back up, which is great because I want to use that for the boss. We're going to lost that because it's quite a tricky one. And you definitely want Bloodlust for it on a tyrannical setting. It's quite an interesting fight because how it works is that you kind of kill it, and then you have this big octopus outside that you also have to kill, which takes insane amount of increased damage taken. And the reason why I'm getting so good overall is because you use your army and pool, and then it takes almost exactly 3 minutes to kill the boss. So your second army gets funneled into the big boss thing. All right. And I think I might have been a bit unethical here and maybe delayed it a couple seconds so I got more value from it. We'll see. But I did I think about 100 million on the big guy. Okay. There we go. What am I looking for? There we go. The Nightmare Eggshell uptime. Alright. We're just going to set our cooldowns here. Do our normal kind of opener. I probably should have saved an old assault in hindsight from the 2 ads from before. Anyway, we're going to stack up those puddles nicely. This is another great boss for Unholy. So when the ads spawn, we can simply cleave off the boss, regardless of where the ads are. So you can see they spawn a little bit out all over the room, but I hit Outbreak, and that dots everything up. And then as I stand in my defile on this side of the boss, the Scourge Strike will cleave all the mobs. Because it's based off the target you're hitting. So it goes off from the boss to the ads. So I can do I'm just doing annihilating those ones. And I'm going to do that every single time. So whenever there are ads spawn, I'm also going to help grip in the casters. But I'm definitely... Oh, here I thought I actually got targeted with the the blue effect. But no, that wasn't me. I wasn't looking that closely enough. Right, there we go. So I'll break the boss. And then we're going to pop down the file. And then do lots of Scourge Strike cleave. Easy peasy. And he's going to cleave this down so much. I think this is a great Unholy dungeon, to be honest. First boss, we deal with the ads really well. Second boss, we also deal with the ads well. Third boss, we can immune the fear and everything. And then this last one, we annihilate the ads. Great Unholy dungeon. Alright, those two are going to nicely clear everything up. We're going to have some ad spawning. Again, outbreak the boss. Everything gets a dot. Help grip in these guys. Gonna open and drop down, use our blinding sleet, that kind of thing. And then just spam epidemic to kill them as quickly as possible. It's a good idea to kill them at the same spot because they drop the this little the dark mud. So you want to make sure it doesn't spread it out too much. And we end up in a bit of a scenario here where we had most of the boss covered, but we managed to clear loads of it with that clear. So when you're 2 people, I think you clear more quickly. So you can kind of just walk around the boss and then just get rid of pretty much everything. We are sending all our cooldowns as soon as they come up. You can see we have army coming up in like 1 minute. So it's going to be fitting quite nicely towards the end. You can, when you get the when you get targeted with the mod ability, you can use AMS and walk into existing mod and then overlap it. That gives you a bit more space, makes it a bit more easier to clear that kind of thing. All right, we got these guys spawning, and now you can see, so I have my army ready. You know, I could have used that here, but I think I'm gonna hold it a little bit because I'm quite confident we're gonna kill this on time. So there we go. All right, this is what I'm talking about. So AMS, move into that to leverage it. So now the entire boss area is covered, but we luckily get clears, so we can move it up. Now when we have all our builds ready, I'm gonna pop my army, synergize it with like everything else I have. Boss is gonna die. We're gonna kill Uzumat, and I'm able to kind of just send my entire army into him, which is pretty neat. And we're gonna end up at around 360k overall. There you go. All right, so bit different video than usual. I tend to kind of do a proper guide within each video, but this was much more commentary. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought about it. Upvote, downvote, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.